Welcome everybody to Abby and Bryden Can Do Everything. Anything?
That's
Anything?
not even
Shit.
the show.
Shit.
It's not
Start
even
over.
the show. No, we can't
Look,
start over.
I'm Abby. Bryden's here, but also we have Leighton Radner of Outlawed Thoughts and the Loser Cast. Welcome, Leighton. Am I saying
And
that right?
another one he said.
And another one.
You pronounced it great. Yeah. No, I right now just those two channels. I've got a third one that we're gonna be launching here once I move. So.
Hell yeah. Oh, that's
Very
right. That is what he
exciting.
said. I'm not a very good listener, but yeah, I've been calling him Leighton the whole time, so it is Leighton, right? I really hope that's okay.
Yes.
Good. I also have a stupid fucking white guy name, Bryden. So, you know,
I just feel like I can't think of any other way to pronounce it. And that's usually when I end up being wrong. So I'm glad this time it was fine.
no, you can call it.
The thing that trips people up sometimes is the spelling because they're used to seeing Layton, which is like the common spelling. And you'll get certain responses because some people say it's because it's female versus male spelling. The reality is it's because of where it came from. There's like two versions of the name. One of them is Scottish, like Welsh, and the other one is more Eastern European. And the LAY version, I believe, is the Eastern European one, and then my version is the more like Scottish Welsh version, which makes sense because that's where my family on that side's from anyway. So
My brother. Solidarity.
Yeah, bad people, but I mean, just to appropriate, you know, pronunciations. I guess you could call it Ligiton.
No,
Yeah.
you couldn't.
Sounds like a
No,
robot.
why are you
though.
agreeing with that, Leighton? That's retarded.
Because the way it's spelled, if you wanted to, you could pronounce, I feel like, that name in like 4 different ways because of all the way different languages, like especially GH sounds. Like anytime you throw a GH into a word, I feel like it throws the whole thing off. From
Yeah.
What if you're dyslexic, you can call him Light On. That would be good.
But growing up, I was lucky to not have the LAY spelling because growing up as a bigger kid, I felt like I would have gotten the Layton or Layton comments a lot more, and because of the way it's spelled, I think no one put that together, so I just got to ride
lucky.
through childhood with no one realizing that was right there in the open for the taking.
Kids will find tons of ways to torment you, though. You know, you touch a dead cat one time. Now you're dead cat cursed girl.
She. You don't know this, but she's a disgusting pagan.
They
she had a
dared
terrible
me
life.
to touch the cat.
I've been dared to do some dumb things in the past too, so I feel like touching a dead cat is the least of what I could have gotten into.
I was like, you guys are such scaredy cats. Pun not intended, but it works,
Goddamn.
you know. And I thought I was being tough because they were like scared to touch it. And then they all ran away from me after. So there was that.
Leighton, one request that I do have. We just spent the past fucking 25 minutes of me being very autistic about audio. What if you put that lav mic on your beard?
Oh, I can do
On
it.
his beard?
I've also put it
Does
on
that
my hat
pull,
before.
though?
Oh, on the hat actually would probably work. But the beard is funnier.
The
can
beard
do
he
it
just
up
wants
here.
to make you a
the
clown.
beard sounded so good. Well, he's a funny guy.
No, it works like this. I can do this.
Okay, that's so much better.
That
Is
sounds
that not better?
fantastic.
Are you? Never doubt me. All right.
I just thought you thought it would be funny looking. I
It
thought
is
that's what we
funny.
were doing. We were just like, oh, make the new guy do a funny thing, you know?
And let's try the hat because I'll bet that works really fucking well too. Okay, do not doubt me. Like seriously, Abby, I'm autistic about one thing, and
Yeah.
it's that. The rest of it, I'm a genius. I have a normal obsession.
Right.
That's
yeah.
on the hat.
Beard is better.
Beard is
Yeah,
definitely better.
because it's lower.
Yep, beard is better.
That makes sense.
God, I miss my
I
goatee.
think Brian's just excited that you can move it around because he can't do that.
There we go.
And now he's
See,
sad.
that's fantastic. See, that's fantastic. I used to have a really long goatee, and it was it not, you bitch, an astounding mustache. A wonderful mustache. One of those big curly mustaches.
He could make it really curly at the end, but the problem is that he can't have like a whole beard with it because he's got these bald patches all over his face. He could never do what you've done.
Yeah, no, not at all.
It took me a year and a half to get this to like fill in properly.
Oh no.
I had the same thing. I'd have big patches of just like nothingness.
Buddy, it was over 2 years, and I would still be baby bald right there. It's just I don't know if I was held on a stove as a child or something. It's
probably.
I know people who legitimately could not grow facial hair at all until they took like minoxidil or like one of those like hair like follicle treatment things. You can do now there's finasteride is like the one that I think gets recommended the most, which is for people who are losing hair, but it also works for facial hair, the same thing, which I don't think most people realize. Like if you're unable to grow facial hair but you're able to grow hair, the same stuff that would make you grow regular hair also makes you grow facial hair. So like finasteride, for instance, you don't have to take over like continuously, whereas like minoxidil, once you get on it, you can't stop taking it. With finasteride,
like
you
heroin.
can take that for like 2 years and then get off of it, and you shouldn't lose all the hair. Yeah.
Really?
You don't.
Okay. What if it makes my ass hair grow though? Because I got a hairy ass.
Oh, it'll make that hair to grow
I
too.
can't deal
I'm
with
sure.
that. I can't
I've
deal
never
with
done
that.
it. I've been curious
Just
to
cut
try
it.
You want me to cut my ass hair?
Yes, that's what you
Shavers
do.
only. You're not allowed to use a shaver.
Wait, yeah, no, you can't, because I shaved my ass hair one time, and then it turns out it grows back. That's an itchy nightmare, dude.
What did you think was gonna happen?
I don't know. I just was told that I had a hairy ass, and I got embarrassed, and then I like shaved my ass, and then it was just like, what's more embarrassing than walking around scratching your ass at the fucking Kroger all the time?
Yeah, I just assume you do that anyway, but also you're a man, so who cares in the first place if you have a hairy ass?
It's.
What are you talking about, Bryden?
I got a hairy ass, man. I don't know.
You
I
gotta
don't know
just
what to
get
tell you.
scissors. Just scissors, okay? Look.
Sometimes maybe you got to use scissors because it's like that's just poop. You can get those dingleberries out of there.
What the
These are
fuck?
experiences I don't have. So that one, you're on your own. You're on an island with that one.
Well,
He's just a disgusting little creature. That's what I'm hearing. People are seeing these clips and they're just telling me, man, why are you doing a show with that disgusting little creature?
That's not what they're saying at all. In fact, our worst short that we've ever done was an Abby heavy short where people were like, no.
Which one was that?
Talking about your fucking stove.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, people hated
that one
that.
wasn't very good. No. I wish
People
more people
hated it.
liked the Nalorg pipe clip because it's just like, hey, go watch this thing. I guess. Now look at him. He's so cool. He's got the big old long pipe like Gandalf.
Wait.
Oh,
Yeah.
this
Tell us
thing's
more
fun,
about
yeah.
your big old long pipe, Leighton.
It's this thing's
Oh,
this is
shit.
in the future. So check this out. This is the best. So it's got a screen up top, and then
Okay. What?
Oh, well, don't show that. That's tobacco.
That's pretty cool,
no,
actually.
This is Mary Jane. This is
Nope, it's tobacco. It's tobacco, right?
He is Gandalf.
You just gotta
Isn't that
call
great?
it. You just have to you have to use the code words, man. I was amazed by when I found out that YouTube, the way that like YouTube cycling works for stuff related to that is they only look for specific code words, and Mary Jane not among them.
Right, because
Well,
of
this could be
Spider-Man.
someone's name.
Right,
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
it's
Spider-Man's wife.
yeah, it's used in too many contexts now for them to make it solely about one thing, so they can't censor it. So that's how I always refer to it on streams now.
Yeah, I hated when those guys Mary Janed those planes into the Twin Towers.
Yeah, that sucked. Who was that again, Bryden?
My
Spider-Man.
people, I think.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Probably a bunch of people with similar last names to me.
I think it was. So I was flipping through one of your Loser Cast episodes and I saw a friend of ours on there. I didn't know Brosif went on your show. Is that is he a regular?
Brosif's a co-host. He's he's one of the people I brought on as a host for that show. So I met him. I'd met him on streams before, and then he was on. He was at Skankfest when I went over there. And so when I got back from Skankfest and started that show up, I was planning on starting it before I went over there, because I kind of thought that concept for a show would be fun. And I was friends with Toad, so it was like me and him wanted to do a show together. So I decided to reach out to Toad and Tyler. So it's Tyler Yonke, Broseph Smith, me, Toad, and then Thursdays we're gonna start doing a second show a week. So that will be a different lineup. It's going to be me, Hindian, Adam Nutter, and probably Broseph. So that'll be a different...
That can't be his real name.
Different group. Adam Nutter?
Yeah, please tell me that's not his real name.
That he had to... comic. He's the best.
He had to go through high school with that actual name?
That would be great.
I think he went through Catholic school with that name, too.
Jesus.
I bet he was very popular. Teachers.
Well, we don't know how attractive he was.
But Bros is great. He was a fun hang at Skankfest, and he's been great on the show. It's fun chats.
Yeah. I don't know. Bros was on like 2-3 weeks ago. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I remember I saw the thumbnail.
Yeah, you know. Growing up Mormon, you can't. That must have been a big shock having caffeine for the first time and all of that. But he's turned out mostly normal.
I don't know if that's true.
I bought a shirt from his eBay store. It's a good shirt. Tommy Bahama, baby.
Doesn't make him normal.
Well,
I had a interesting upbringing is similar to him because I was raised with. I don't know, I wasn't raised in nearly as religious household as he was, I'm sure, but I got brought up.
Which is strange because you're dressed like a fucking rabbi. But
everybody, I have long hair by choice. It's not a religious thing. I either get here in Alaska, if you have a beard and long hair and you dress like I do, the thing I get even more than Jew is Russian Orthodox.
Yeah.
That does. You do look like that.
And it doesn't help that I have written and talked about the Saint Herman, and so because I've done that, I have followers on Twitter who are already Russian Orthodox. So I think I have a decent chunk of people who just assume that I'm Russian Orthodox, but I have I'm friends with a bunch of them, but.
I'm unfortunately friends with a bunch of them too, and I don't even know how the hell that happened because they're talking to me.
My fault.
They start talking to me about just the craziest shit because I'm like, yeah, Christian, all right, Jesus and all of that, and they're like, by the way, also Plato escaped hell, and you're like, what the fuck is Orthodox? This is crazy.
I have a Saint Herman icon hanging up in my living room.
Hey,
nice.
More power to you. More power to all you guys. Be as Orthodox as you want to be, Russian or whatever. You could be Asian Orthodox if you want. I don't give a fuck.
I have next to me, I've got. I don't believe in this shit either, but I got stacks of L. Ron Hubbard books next to me.
Okay, but those aren't his religious works. Those aren't the
I mean, they are.
Dianetics. That's not Dianetics.
Well, kind of, I guess, somewhere in there. There's. But...
I've been meaning to bring up on the show. So we so rarely talk about religion, but we know Abby is some type of fucking Christian or some bullshit that I don't listen to.
I'm Orthodox.
I've been meaning to bring up Orthodox more like it.
Okay, that's just disrespectful.
I have been meaning to bring up. I have actually found the one true religion, and it is Scientology. It is.
Oh my gosh. Not this.
No, I've got all these Egrams and stuff, and I got aliens in my body that were in a volcano, and I'm not supposed to talk about this because I haven't given them enough money yet. But I did see South Park. So I am on board. And I
Yeah.
might have harassed those people when I lived in LA a bunch. And one time I peed in their trash can.
If you like doing anything, it's spending money.
No,
It's
I
your
don't like
favorite
it. I
thing.
just,
You love
well,
it.
I need people to like me. It's
We
not like I
like
can
you,
win them over with
Bryden.
my personality. It's not
Well,
going to
no,
happen.
that's not gonna. No, you just have to find more people who like you in spite of your personality.
It's like 2 people, dude.
Yeah, but
L. Ron Hubbard, he came over here to Alaska, and he set up. The story goes he was coming over here during one of the times when he was writing like his pulp books. So this wasn't like as deep into his religious side of things. It was when he was kind of building that up. So he comes through Alaska, docks up in his sailboat, and distributed a bunch of books and stuff that he had to people in Kodiak and Juneau, I believe, were the 2 places he stayed. And then he left Alaska and goes on to, create his whole Dianetics whole system and all that stuff. While that's happening, his
And a
books
navy.
become...
He
Yes,
started
yes.
a navy.
Yeah.
So
awesome. They built out here in Alaska naturally because people just read the
Really?
books. And then as he grew Scientology in the lower 48, a bunch of these people who were reading his books in Alaska joined up with his group that he created. And so still to this day, there's like a tiny little sliver of the population in the state that are Scientologists, and they're all pretty much in like Juneau and Kodiak and like these specific towns where he went and stayed.
We've got some in
weird.
we've got some in Clearwater. They own a bunch of business. They basically own Clearwater from
Florida.
what I
I've
know.
been there. That's Scientologist Central. That whole place is like chock full of them.
Well, I used to live in Los Angeles, and there's obviously a shit ton of them there. But I mean, giant buildings. I've seen like their what I assume is their headquarters over on
There was
Sunset.
one 3
Giant.
blocks from my grandfather's place in California.
Yeah, dude. I mean, there's not that many of them. They're like, there's billions of us worldwide, and it's like there's maybe 100,000, 200,000, or whatever.
You ever read about what they did with the IRS?
Maybe refresh my memory. I don't know. Maybe not.
Well, the Scientologists are like, people don't realize how good they were at what they did because
Intimidation.
they went as far to get their own people to go get jobs at the IRS. And
Sounds
then, so they were caught basically giving tax breaks. This was in the 80s or early 90s. They were caught just committing blatant fraud like all over the place. And no one really ever got in trouble for it. Like still to this day, if you actually look into it, like the Mormons and the Scientologists both have huge positions within government agencies and jobs, and that just goes under the radar,
it's because they control everything. Mormons.
The Mormons have a lot of control over stuff that people don't realize.
We are starting a religion. All right, we just need. I would call it Brydenism because I'm way more philosophical than Abby.
I wonder why.
Well, you need
it's
a
gonna
Messiah.
have okay, but no,
you
no,
that's I want people to know who I am, and he's like, I'm now creating a religion and I'm naming it after myself.
Yeah,
yes,
dude,
and it's a dumb name, Bryden. No, it's a bad name. It's a bad name. We need to be like, I don't know, something cool, like the Knights of something or the Paladins of something, or maybe it's just because the song we were listening to before we started.
I think it's 100% because of that.
Yeah,
it reminds me entirely. This will be a deep cut reference. No one's gonna know this, but if people Google Papa Pilgrim, it's literally that. But
now you have to explain.
Oh yeah, people used to be able to just get away with that.
Starting religions?
Messed up story. That guy was a dude who lived up here in Alaska who created a little cult with his family and got locked up in prison forever.
Was he the guy that bashed everybody's shins with hammers and raped a bunch of chicks? Is that the same place?
Anthill Gang, and the Anthill Gang is also screwed up history, but the Papa Pilgrim is way less known because he was just one dude. And like, so he lived about 60 miles from where I'm at now. I live in Seward, Alaska. He was operating
Seward,
out
Alaska, everybody. It's where the shit goes down.
and then he had lived over in Kenai Soldotna area, and yeah, he had like a
I don't
bunch
have
of
one for
family
that.
members and stuff, and was doing all the, you know, all the classic telltale cult signs, molestation, all the good stuff, you know.
Of course.
Yeah. See, I want to start a cult, but I don't want to fuck anybody.
Yeah, we can't be molesting
hey,
people.
Hey, don't get ahead of yourself.
No,
The kids is what you need to stay away from. If you got a cult, it's got to be a sex cult at some degree.
No, I'm not nexing them anybody. Like, I like the idea of taking all of their money, being extremely abusive, suicide.
We can make them be celibate. We can force them into celibacy.
Listen, no, I think the Catholic Church just proved that no God, fake or real, can make men be celibate. All right, so
we'll get a bunch of women. It'll be a cult full of women who are forced into celibacy.
We're going to be
tolerable. Totally new.
I'm sure the join rate will be through the roof.
Yeah, it's a new thing we're starting up, and like you know, they gotta.
Call it the Hot Girls Club. All the girls will want to join that.
You can't fuck. There's no alcohol, and it's run by women.
Oh no, there's alcohol. There's alcohol.
gotta be some booze. If I'm like, I'm the guy.
Everybody in that cult within 2 weeks is OD, regardless of suicide pacts or anything else.
Well, see, that'd be great. That would accomplish what I wanted to accomplish, is like a Jonestown type of.
Okay, you can't say that. We haven't even started the cult. It doesn't even have the name.
What about the you know, who were those the Hellbop Comet guys? Those they also opted with the Nike Reebok sneakers.
So the
one, because there's only one guy that wants the website. The rest,
yeah, it was a husband and wife couple, and I talked to the woman. I emailed back and forth with her a bit because I was writing a video script about Heaven's Gate, and everybody on YouTube was like, yeah, this website's still active. This is like 3 years ago. And I was like, yeah, well, shit, I'll just email them. You know, if it's still active,
and I think
maybe they reply.
I've heard that they do just respond to people because they want to talk about it.
Yeah. It was just a normal, talk to me like they were any other old lady responding to my email.
Did you get, but you got the information that you wanted out of it for your video?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Yeah. We're getting the Heaven's Gate.
Yeah, we could talk to him.
Like on the show.
I don't know about interviews. I don't know if they've ever done I think they did one a while back with I think it was Wang, that YouTuber. He had a audio interview, I think, with one of them briefly. WHANG is his YouTube handle. He's great. He's been around forever.
I don't know who that is. That means something else though. But
yeah.
I just know Justin Wang.
That's him. Yeah.
Okay.
That's Wang.
Yeah.
That's who I'm talking about.
Okay.
That's Justin. Yeah, he's an old school YouTuber. He's been around forever.
Yeah. He's just I've just heard his name enough times. Basically, he's just been around for ever.
He's like a metal guy. He likes metal.
Yep.
Purple background, all that.
Long hair.
Okay, I know who that is. Yeah,
he seems cool.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. Well, shit. No, let's get Heaven's Gate on there because I've got nothing.
We could at least talk to them, and just see if they have anything to say,
or at least do what I did. What I did was I typed out a bunch of questions, and then just sent them to them, almost and then they responded back with answers, and then I was going to use that for the script. The funny thing is, I never finished that script. I still have all that stuff sitting in a Google Doc, and I never actually put the rest of it together. So
well, you gotta do
I've
that.
never made that video, but I have all the interview stuff from it still. So
it's a great topic.
Send shoot, I was going to ask you to send me something, but then I also remembered you don't follow me on the Twitter. Oh yeah, I was going to ask you to. I was going to ask you to send me the video, but you never made the video.
Yeah.
Oh.
See, 90% of winning is showing up, Leighton. All right.
I can message you his ad. It's just silly
Yeah.
Bryden.
I'm just silly Bryden. I'm just a silly old Bryden.
If you want to DM it to me, I'll add you on there.
But yeah, you got to make that video. That's great. You got a questionnaire with the Heaven's Gate people. They were a cool cult. I remember back when they killed themselves. Because my dad, I was a child. We were outside to see the comet. My dad, I remember he goes, bunch of people just killed themselves.
What the hell is wrong with him?
Oh, I think he has autism at this point. I think he has
That sounds like
autism.
something my dad would do, and that's not someone you want to be compared to.
Yeah, no,
my dad would have laughed and said, idiots, after, but he'd be like,
No.
idiots.
No, he didn't. He didn't do that. It just explained to me about the Hale-Bopp comet and how a bunch of people killed themselves. And I'm however old I was back then, and I didn't give a shit. I was like, neat comet. Speaking of shit in the sky, Artemis 2.
Yes,
We
I did
went
see
out
that.
there. Yeah, well, I actually saw it. I could see it from my fucking house over in Orlando. Erica brought me outside to see it, and
Just had to
it just
guide
looked
you
like a
out.
fucking
Come on,
missile.
old man, let's get your walker kind of thing? Or
Cut.
what do you mean she brought you outside?
Well, I didn't even know what was going on. I wasn't aware of that shit, of that fake bullshit.
I got like 3 different text messages with links to the YouTube live footage just from other moms. I guess they're showing it to their kids, so I showed it to my kids because they sent me the link.
I don't know. We went outside. It looked like every missile launch I've ever seen on a video. And the only thing that I was impressed by was like how visible it was from we're about 2 hours away from where it was launching.
Well, the fuel, it's a big thing. It's a big craft. Big old...
Yeah, I mean, I just couldn't really see anything except the fire and the trail that it left behind. I guess you could see like a little dick in front of it or whatever. I assume that the fire is the balls and the craft is the penis.
I think so. It's
like that
the
Austin
balls
Powers scene where
disintegrating.
they're all looking at the radar as the
Oh, yeah.
the fat man rocket leaves.
Yeah, I just, I don't know. It looked like a missile launch, and I thought it was funny because it's like if I hadn't known, and I just happened to catch it, I would have been like, "Oh fuck, we're attacking Iran
Oh,
from
yeah,
Florida?
we're at war. Yeah. That's a nuke.
That sucks."
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like anytime I see shit like that, and I'm in Alaska, the first thing that pops through my head is like nuclear defense, because like we have all the nuke defense stuff here, and so anytime I see anything in the sky, I'm like, huh? Are they shooting the big one out of the sky, or what's happening?
Yeah. Oh,
God.
gosh. I mean, it could happen. We're getting disclosure. Everyone's very excited about it. More and more people are talking about it.
We are not. We are
Yes,
not,
we
and they are
are.
not.
April 14th. We're gonna see.
I have weird opinions on all the UFO alien stuff. People, I don't know. I get in a little back and forth sometimes with the because I cross paths with the religious sort of conspiracy side of things often. A lot of it, I'm sure, it has everything to do with the fact that I'm like friends with like Top Lobster and those guys, and they run like the Nephilim Death Squad and stuff. I do like I have general. I don't talk about it as much because I haven't made a ton of videos about more religious stuff as often as I have about history. But yeah, I grew up with a grandmother who had a degree in like religious studies and religious history stuff. So
Isn't that just a nun?
No,
well, she did go to Catholic school, so
So,
but I just
Abby, I was right. She's basically a nun.
Oh, I don't think. No, you have to.
not
basically a nun.
She would laugh her ass off being called that.
But it's all the same to me. The heathen that I am. They call.
Yes.
I even like Bryden, the heathen Proctor. And I'm like,
Surely that one's already taken, though, right?
actually,
By
let's
some
find
big
out.
like Nordic dude, I would imagine. There's no way that's not taken.
The most recent stuff I was looking at was JD Vance went on that Benny
Oh,
Johnson
yeah.
show. Which, by the way, biggest softball interview I've ever seen. That was a hilarious interview to watch because it's just I mean, the entire interview, not a single question was put to the guy that was meaningful whatsoever. But they
Yep.
get talking about UFO stuff. And the whole new narrative now the government's running with is that I guess now they're just talking about like alien DNA being involved with human DNA and these weird experimentations taking place. And oh, we have all these UAPs and we think they're, now you have JD Vance and people saying they're connected to biblical stuff, which isn't new. That's stuff that's been being said for years.
Yeah, there are people that say that, but also just these people really, really, really love apocalyptic prophecy. Like a lot. They're obsessed with it. Everything has to fit into that framework. They have to make it happen, and they're trying to tie it all together. And it's very annoying.
Oh,
strange
you don't
that
think
there's
comparing
often a Zionist crossover there, huh?
You don't think
Yeah.
comparing Donald Trump to Jesus was totally cool and normal?
I don't know. I don't think
Oh,
so.
crazy.
And I would be very upset if I voted for the Antichrist. Bryden, my church rep will go just so far down below the floor.
You know who's probably even more upset? Jesus.
That I voted for the Antichrist? Yeah, he'd probably be pretty cranky about that.
Donald Trump. But
Oh, yeah.
there is nobody called the heathen. There is Jeremy Stevens, who is Lil Heathen, who has a dog shit record, and he's going to be fighting Bobby Green, King Green now.
Now, the question
I guess
is,
over
is
in
he
Newark.
taller than you?
Oh,
Probably.
let's
Almost
see.
certainly. Bryden
Yes,
is
Because
a
I
he's
feel
small
like
man.
if he's not taller, if he's shorter than you, if he's shorter than you are, then you can just call yourself the big version of his
Heathen?
name.
No, he's telling me he's 5'9". I'm 5'6". I am.
He's
Then just
so
steal his
tiny.
name. Make him take the big version.
Listen. He might be 29 and 22, but he could kill me so fast.
I boxed at Skankfest, and
Oh, did you?
I watched
That rules.
I watched some of the guys that were better at it. You get to watch the guys who were good at it. My dad was a boxer when I was younger, so I grew up watching him box. And so watching him and then going to watch these boxing matches and stuff. I think I'm bringing my dad to the next Skankfest here, to Skankfest
To
10.
fuck up some young kids.
I
That would be
believe I'm gonna
fun.
be able to get him to box. So I'm gonna pitch to Lewis like, here's my 62-year-old father. Have him box somebody, and they can bill it as, here's this old guy, but I know something they don't. So it'll be a fun
rules.
match
I
to
love
watch.
That's a
Sorry, I
great
didn't-
idea.
That does rule. That does rule, and you need to do that. I didn't mean to derail your conversation. I'm just saying
Oh.
Jeremy Stevens sucks and Bobby Green rules.
We were just saying that, yeah, the demon narrative. It's all obviously propaganda.
Well, and a lot of it comes down to to me, like a lot of it has to do with the fact that there's like this argument about like whether we're in like a cultural like conflict culturally in the US or in the Western
Mhm.
world, or whether it's spiritual religious stuff. And you have like the Fuentes types who said we were in a spiritual war and all this stuff, and it's like, well, first off, none of that's new. Like there's been people who've been
Yep.
saying that everything that's being repeated now has been being said since literally the 70s. Like none of this is and
No,
really
the N-word-
explicitly
the-
since
the
the
N-
early 2000s.
The N-word's way older than the 70s.
It's
Yes.
fair.
But I look at a lot of it and go, you can't. 90% of it, the best person I think people can research if they want to learn about what I think's happening with the UFO stuff now that a lot of people ignore because he's dead, but is Bill Cooper, which Behold
yeah.
a Pale Horse is a great book to read, especially in the context of today, because most of the things that he put forward, and Bill Cooper, I'll be the first to admit, got plenty wrong. But when you read the actual core concepts that he was putting forward in that book, which is that you have this new world order and you have this organization of rich people and powerful people that you don't really know the names of, and they're the ones that are making decisions behind closed doors, and the Trilateral Commission and all this stuff that he pointed to, most of that stuff is all 100% accurate. That is
Yeah.
legitimate, and that's not a necessarily even a conspiracy at this point. You have these groups that
It's
meet
not when
publicly,
people
Davos,
just talk about it publicly. They
Yeah.
write it in their books. It's not new.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not hidden knowledge.
And so like that stuff I think is interesting because I you know, and I think I look at that as more contextually important in the grand scheme of things. As far as like the UFO stuff goes, I think a lot of it is because the Western world wants to prop up certain religious beliefs. And in order to prop up those religious beliefs, you have to continue to convince young people. You have to continue to get new people into those faiths. I think a lot of that has to do with the Catholics, the Christians, the Mormons, and the Jews, all four of them. I don't think the argument that gets made a lot, and I think a lot of it gets thrown around more recently than not, is like, right now you've got this stuff going on in Israel, and you've got all this stuff going on in the Middle East, and so it's become like the popular thing to be like anti-Zionist, and that's which is great because I'm anti-Zionist. I want everybody to be that, but I'm also like,
new. It's crazy.
Yeah, you also like have to be. There's a lot of these people who are anti-Zionist who, at the same time, while parroting that, are on the right and are either actively Mormons or Catholics or Christians who are part of organized faiths, who in reality kind of do the same thing as the Jews, maybe on a smaller scale, but they all wish they could do the same thing. They all want to have that same sway and ability, you know. I don't.
Yeah, the same sway and ability, but I'm not sure there are. I think that it's mostly very specific subsects of groups that want to actively try to bring about the apocalypse, which is my main concern.
Agree with that. Yeah. Well, and I think there's a whole business too around it, because they basically, I mean, you know, with especially some of the churches too, and you know that whole process of like, yeah, once you add money into the equation, and this is why like organized religion has never been really my bag, because it's like, well, once you make this super organized and everybody starts getting together, then this very quickly becomes a money thing more than a religion thing. And whether or not you can keep that faithful, I don't know. I've been around a lot of these like churches and synagogues and just random religious groups, and I don't think I've seen one that I've been like, oh yeah, you were able to keep money out of the equation. You were able to keep everything.
Yeah,
like they always.
It's
What
not
do you
just
think?
money either. It's there's a lot of trend seeking. I mean, even in Orthodoxy, you have a lot of like we have to be very harsh on these certain things and let these other things go because this is what is bringing in converts. I've seen that, which of course brings in money, I guess. So you could say that.
What's more important than the conversation about two people not understanding the human condition, which is completely fine? What do you think about big feet?
That could go either way on this podcast.
The one that Bigfoot's an interesting topic.
No. I meant big feet. Abby has giant feet.
Do you have to keep bringing this up?
I'm a size 13 shoe, so I'm not a good judge of that.
He's bigger than me. No, I'm not. In men's, it's a 9.
But yeah, sure.
That's not that bad.
Bigfoot is fine. No. She's lying. It's like
I'm
when
not.
a woman tells you how many men she slept with, add 3 more, add 3 sizes to
Why would
Peggy Hill.
Why would I even?
You know what pig feet on a woman means, or on a woman?
It means I have a big dick.
She's gonna open up the drawer behind her. 13 inches of black rubber.
No.
But yeah,
let's not scare the
fiery
people
red
too bad.
tubes glued to it.
Oh gosh.
You could go all day about the fucking impropriety of man or whatever, but that sucks. I think we're here for some real conspiracies. If you want to talk about the church, let's talk about like the shit they have in the basement, or let's talk about Bigfoot or other Alaskan cryptids that.
There's probably something more Alaskan specific that he knows that we don't know. Surely.
Yeah, so as far as like Bigfoot stuff goes, the one that we have that other places don't is like the Otter Man, which you'll see get
Otterman.
reference places. That's
It's like a
or you'll
really
see
gay, small, hairy
Bigfoot.
man. And he goes to all of the truck stops in Alaska. He has the swiftness of a twink, but the hair of a bear. The Otter Man.
His ghostly aberrational ability is that he could pick up a signal to access Grindr from anywhere in the state. No matter what mountain range he's on, he has a signal.
Are you in Juneau, the one place with fucking Wi-Fi access? He's not, but he'll be there in moments.
Coming to a village near you.
Yeah, it's just like a very gay man.
Wearing a bearskin pelt.
It's very
Just a gay guy with a bearskin pelt wandering around the woods of Alaska.
Like a Viking, he's just like, I'm here for dick. Like, that rules, dude.
I love that in your version of this, he's the bottom.
Well, yeah, he's the otter. He's the smaller species. So,
Oh
you
no, I
know,
think that means he can go either way.
he's a switch. I think they're
He's
called.
a switch. I'm pretty
Verse.
sure.
He's a versatile.
He's a versatile otter man.
Yeah. Well, you know, most of
they,
the gays are they are bottoms. So
You have this the story of the Kushtaku and these things that come from like Alaskan native cultures.
what about
the otter?
Douchetaku? And it's
Oh
a
my
guy who
goodness
talks about
gracious,
anime
Brendan.
too much.
It's just,
Go ahead.
it's
Sorry.
just the every black guy under 25 I know is obsessed with anime, and that's the
Yeah,
first
that's
thing that popped in my
weird,
head when you
right?
said that.
They love it, dude. They love.
I don't know what
fucking-
it is, but man, those fucking Japanese, they got nuked and then somehow were able to take over the mind of all like young black people in the United States. They're all obsessed with anime. I'm like, when did this happen? When did I miss this? You went from
It's-
rap. When I was a kid, it was like rap music and like it was still that, like that was the dominant culture. People with baggy clothes and like your early 2000s black people were like the shit. And now it's like, wait a minute, you're all walking around with Dragon Ball Z shit on.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they got the headband and shit from from Naruto.
Man, I've seen a
Naruto.
few Naruto runs.
Naruto. Yeah.
Naruto.
I don't know how I missed it.
Naruto.
I don't know what I like. Generationally, it just whew, right over my
Well,
head.
Yeah.
I think the first time I saw it happen was with he's dead now, but XXXTentacion. He was so into anime, and then it's like because we always knew they liked Dragon Ball Z. Black guys always like Dragon Ball Z. It's pretty
South
tough anime.
America is obsessed with it too, by the way.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Well, they're just getting Dragon Ball Z. Like 30
might
years
be
later,
it.
they're just
New.
getting it. Yeah. But they're watching old episodes of fucking Toonami over there. They just got the pirate television on that. But yeah, I don't know. I like not having 90s gangbanger. I noticed this in LA when I was way back there a million years ago, like 2014. They're not largely the gangbanger blacks. They were skateboarding blacks back then.
Ooh.
There was still a problem. There was still a problem with like because
They
they're
were
kids.
still blacks.
Yeah. they're just 17-year-old kids are a fucking problem, no matter who it is. All right, and
Okay, yeah.
skateboarders, so there was still like a fucking issue.
Was
But
that My Chemical Romance song I'm thinking of?
oh, they were listening to that. Hey, she would know.
Teenagers scare the living shit out of me.
Yeah, that's it.
But I was.
They
I
could
was glad
care
they were-
less as long as someone will bleed. Okay, I'm
Oh,
done.
that's that name of that song. I know that song.
So whenever
Anyway.
somebody talks about teenagers being shitheads, that's what I think of.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Gotta.
Yeah, I did.
Poster.
He definitely saw that. Do you think he
I'm just
doesn't have
saying.
eyes? You
I was
stupid
showing-
bitch?
I legitimately did not see that poster. I
Ha!
promise you. I did not know that poster was there. You can go back and watch my highlight. I did not know that poster was there. I
Get
I
on
had
it, guys.
horrible eyesight, so I wouldn't have been able to read it until you moved anyway. I'm not a true Chemical Romance person either.
Well,
That band-
this is worse. That means you were staring at me the whole time.
Well, you were the one talking.
Gay.
I typically look at whoever's talking.
Gay.
Bryden does it. Bryden just looks at himself the whole time. You
I
can
do.
see,
I look
actually,
at
talk about
100%
tracking people's
accurate. Yeah.
tracking people's eyes. You can see I'm like looking at who's talking, and then sometimes I like to look at the camera so that people can see that I'm
I never
looking
look
at
at the
them
camera.
into their eyes, right? But Bryden just constantly, his eyes are always fixed on himself. It's great.
I love me. I don't care what anybody says.
Leave me in my cult alone.
Although I think the people in the comments on the videos have told me to stop looking at the camera. They don't like it.
I haven't seen that.
That
I don't
means
know.
you should only exclusively stare into the camera.
Well,
So
we
just the
have
whole time.
we have a creepy ability to make it so it
Oh,
only looks
we
like
do.
we look at the camera the whole time, but it's fucking
It's
scary.
terrifying because
It's
it
the
doesn't
worst.
matter how you turn your head. Your eyes are on the camera. It's crazy.
It sucks. I'm glad I pay like at least 50 cents more a goddamn month because they have that option. Sucks
Yep.
shit.
They could also turn you into a terrifying cartoon. It does not look pleasant.
Oh, and it also
like
takes
one of
a
those,
week.
What do they
Like
call them? VTubers.
Oh,
not
no,
even.
not even that cool.
No, this is like if King of the Hill was drawn by children, little Korean children.
Yeah, it kept the backgrounds like largely realistic too, which is strange.
Yeah.
I had to talk to the support about the whole thing because they're like, "Oh, we don't know why the fuck it's broken. I have no fucking idea." I don't know. They got another one where they could turn us all into puppets, so hopefully we can do that for the three of us at some point. But guess what? Guess what time it is? Guess what time it is? Abby is excited. She knows what time it is. Guess what time it is? It's the wheel!
Get the wheel. Wheel. What is the landing on? We don't warn people. You're not the only one we've done this to.
It's
I
time
just
for
don't have booze on
shots.
me. Otherwise,
you-
I drink too.
Otherwise, for you, it's chug. All right.
Yep, you can chug. That's an option. I got a Buffalo Trace.
I had Fireball. Fireball.
I normally
terrible.
have Angel's
Tastes so
Envy's I normally have Angel Envy whiskey here, and I don't
That's a
today.
good one.
So
Yep.
Buffalo Trace is great. Angel's Envy is really good.
I
oh my god,
if
I don't
they-
do shots of my good shit.
Buffalo Trace is cheap enough. I don't feel bad about it, but I will just
Yeah,
drink
but
it
it's rare.
in a glass.
But it's rare. But it's
It
fucking
is
rare.
It is rare. It's very annoying. If they don't have it, I either have to get Evan Williams or Woolcott.
Whoa, that's a crazy
Or-
fucking thing to say. You're just going strictly
or-
by price, might not quality.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
fucking
going
nuts.
by price. Yeah, I'm definitely going by price. Quality wise, I like. Why am I blanking on it right now? I got it for Christmas. Ooh,
you
I'll
just did
have
a
to get
shot.
back to you on it. Yeah, that's why.
I
'cause
go
just did a shot.
Angel's Envy is always typically my first choice, just because I've drank it a lot
Really?
and I like it.
I like Makers.
price-wise,
Wise.
it's not. I'll get often the Bullet Bourbon
Yeah.
or the
yeah.
Bullet Rye is really good. That's
The rye's
probably
good.
my most common just cheap like whiskey I'll have around is Bullet because it's good for mixers. and
Fancy
stuff.
pants over here. Fancy pants over here. His cheap is Bullet Rye.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess it's not that expensive, but it's also a pretty
I
decent
spend
fucking.
an absorbent whiskey is the one. I don't. I will if I'm buying alcohol, I'll spend it all on whiskey. And so, I mean, there's been months where I've probably spent $300-400 on just whiskey.
I mean, that's
This is
that's
That's
not that
3 bottles
crazy,
of
man.
whiskey. That's
yeah, it's
No.
not. It's not. And then my husband likes to make all these
Uh,
cocktails, so he's got to get like 6 different bottles for one freaking party,
her
right?
husband drinks rum. Rum, a
That too.
sugary fucking drink that a
Not
child
just
would
rum.
drink.
He's been really into scotch lately, which I don't like scotch.
I
can't.
love scotch.
I don't. It's not the worst thing. It's fine. It's just I would rather have a bourbon. Bourbon is
problem
sweet
with
and
my
mild.
Scotch for me, I like certain scotches. The issue is that I have not had the experience of drinking nearly as much scotch as I have bourbon or,
Sure.
or
Yep.
rye or any of that stuff. And so the problem with that is that if I'm buying it, unless it's one of the bottles that I've already had that I know I like, I'm hesitant to spend the money
'Cause it's
on
so
something
fucking
that
expensive.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I might get,
It is a
one
lot.
glass into this and not like it,
Yeah.
Well,
No, I got real lucky on Christmas because I bought my husband two $75 bottles of scotch. Just like I mean, I spent a good half hour talking to the liquor store
Real
guys
quick.
about things he likes, but he loved them both.
Who bought it?
Okay, so it's all mine. Okay, why do you think he goes to work, Bryden? He goes to work to hand me the money. That's the point. Okay,
She doesn't have a job, nor has she ever had a job
I was
So-
a cashier once
for 3 months.
for like 4 months, Bryden, for a solid 4 months.
Don't revise history of. I know you so well. It was 3 months, and it was at Walmart, and you were pregnant, and you sucked.
I was not pregnant the whole time. I quit because I was pregnant.
Well, she didn't suck enough. She was pregnant, so I mean,
Suck
Fuck.
it, dumbass.
I know I did a bad job, but it's fine. Everything's great.
I worked at a 1,000 places because I'm so good at working. 1,000 places.
I thought you were gonna say because you're so good at sucking. I'm glad you. That would have been a whole other
That
situation.
was only 325 of those jobs that I had.
Okay, yeah. I don't know,
I'm gonna
man. I just know my husband comes home from work sometimes looking shell-shocked and tells me to never get a job. So I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
yeah, probably listen. That's a good idea.
I mean, it's
I do what the man tells me.
it's the worst thing in the entire world. I will tell you that.
See?
But yeah, no. Some of us are out here buying our scotch, and then there's you who has the audacity to talk. Like, that's crazy. But yeah, I understand where you're coming from, Leighton. Like, I can give you some scotch suggestions. I don't know if you like Highland scotches, if you like Lowland scotch. Like, do you like it more peaty, like a Band-Aid, or do you like smoother scotches? I have the same problem that you do because I'm like, do I really want to spend $100 on this fucking bullshit? And I get it home and it sucks. So you got to look at the reviews of like the taste bullshit, and it's like, then at that point you're just like, I'm just trying to get drunk.
My husband really likes Port Charlotte, if that helps.
I don't know if I've had that. I think we've had this conversation. I don't know
Yeah.
if I've had
I
that.
have not had.
Well,
Port
we were talking
Charlotte.
about it in the Discord because somebody was asking me for recommendations, and I was relaying messages.
So that, I mean, like, let's see, it's an Islay, so I would like that. And it's single malt. Smokiness. What's the?
I like it
peat.
better too than most I've tried. I just am not a big Scotch person.
I mean, it sounds peaty. 40 ppm. Let's see, what is just the Lafroig 10? Or
I'm gonna do. Yeah. I'm
yeah,
gonna
40 to 45. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna get a bottle of Port Charlotte. Actually, I'm gonna order it right now.
That's one of the things I'm looking forward to being in lower 48 with, is being able to order alcohol to get it a little bit cheaper. Because where I'm at here,
Move to Florida.
Alaska, you can't. I actually looked at Florida pretty intently. I go to Florida quite often because I have a bunch of friends that live over there.
You in Orlando ever?
I've been. Last time I was in Orlando was about like 6 months ago. I went over there. Was in Tampa and Orlando. I went and did the Matthew Cox podcast over there. He's over in Tampa, which I would never go to otherwise.
Well, I don't know what that gay porn podcast is about. But
It's about Cox.
The only reason I mentioned that show is because it's the only reason I mentioned that show is because it's the biggest thing I've been on. Because his show is like,
excuse me, rude.
well,
We're not
okay.
big, Bryden.
you
You're
an
not
idea.
big as a man or as a podcaster.
So fucking, I'm gonna get
I'm sorry,
so big.
Leighton. You just
I
have to
haven't
talk
mentioned
over
it
us.
on a show yet, so you're the first people to know it. But I should be going on Jake Shields here soon, and that will
really?
be one of the bigger shows that I've done. But
bring up his record.
you fuck. It's
Come
funny.
on,
too,
don't
that's a nice
sabotage
record.
him.
No, it's a
How
nice
long is it?
record. I mean, he lost his last fight in 2014, but yeah, I mean, he's got a fantastic record.
I'm
39,
completely
31, 3 and
willing
1,
to.
9 and 1.
I will use whatever I need to get on some shows, and in his case, he was one of the few people I was like, "Hey, I'm familiar with all the Jewish stuff you bring up. I'm also like related to Gilda Radner and stuff, so I'm connected to like some of the shit because he was ranting about SNL at the time, and so I was like, hey, have me on, and I'll come talk some shit, like. And so he finally hit me back up.
Why don't you see if you can get Nate Diaz on that same show, and then you could talk to two guys that have CTE.
Goodness gracious. I did want to hear about these cryptids, though. We keep cutting the man off.
The cryptid stuff here is interesting. The things that I sort of point out as being the most prominent talked about ones is definitely like the Otterman Bigfoot style stuff, which that I find very interesting because there's just so much of it. The state's, inundated with it. Not so much from a tourist standpoint. There isn't a big tourist industry here based off of Bigfoot stuff, nothing like that. But if you talk to locals and just people who've been here a long time, pretty much everybody is going to have some story.
Yeah, they've seen some shit.
And then you also have the Thunderbird. That's a pretty popular one over here because obviously it gets...
Yep. Oh, that's Thunderstruck. Never mind.
Yep. Oh, gosh. Have I told you about the Thunderstruck drinking game? You drink every time they say thunder?
Thunder!
That's how you die. You just die.
It's different than that. You have to chug until they say thunder again. So that thunder, you're allowed to do it. I think was the rules.
It was something crazy like that. Look, the people I know, I think they're trying to die when they do drinking games. Because it'll be like you just drink every time, no matter what. There's not real rules to.
It's always been my favorite drinking game.
Yeah,
it was drink until you die. I've been doing that one for about 24 years.
I have been told before there's like a Wendigo that's specific. The description is very similar to Wendigo. It's not called a Wendigo. That's specific to Alaska, and I cannot remember what it's called right now.
So that you might be referring to, there's two different things that could be. One of them is the Kushtaku. That's like sort of related, similarly to the Wendigoon kind of thing. The concept of like a soul eater, I think, would kind of be, similar in vein. And there's a few different things that kind of fall in that vein here in Alaskan culture. The one that I always kind of point to is like a lot of the Alaskan native stories. I don't connect as often to these kind of cryptids, and a lot of that has to do with because when you start digging into the history of some of the native tales that get passed down, a lot of them are based on like moral structure. So you don't really have like biblical text words.
Who were your indigenous guys over there? Like your Indians over in Alaska?
Well, we kind of have a mix of everybody because theoretically all of the other natives who are in all the other states had to kind of come through here, theoretically. If you believe in the land bridge entirely in the way that they say that it happened, which is a whole...
Do you not?
I believe people came across on the land bridge. I don't think that the entire populations they claimed did. I think many of those populations came via boat and through other means of travel, and so it makes the whole thing weird.
We found in South America there's been Egyptian boats, ancient Egyptian boats. In North America, you got the Vikings came over hundreds of years before.
So the Vikings would be one I would point to. I'd point to Vitus Bering is pointed as like, finds the Bering Strait and all these things, and so they get, the Russians get credited for being like the first non-natives to come over here and stuff like that. You've got trade tokens, silvers, golds, things like that were found.
They were doing crypto back then?
Alaska native property that doesn't really make sense to be there because it would have likely been gotten through trade routes. I think a lot of it had to do with the Vikings and other groups in general that were traveling at the time probably didn't leave all that much of a trace, and let alone leave a trace that's going to necessarily withstand 100, 200, 300, 400 years of time. In the case
Sure.
of the Vikings, you do have runestones and things like that that are all around the U.S. that, you know, they argue about validity of, but I think at least there's a handful of them that are pretty hard to disprove.
Well, and I
And there
think
are
that
runes
just
here in Alaska that are pretty old too that they found
it's kind of
before. So.
crazy to me. This is a gripe I have a lot. Briden's going to be annoyed that I'm repeating myself here, but
I'm just
the
checking me out. It's fine.
mainstream archaeological narrative cannot be changed, right? Like the textbooks are never going to get updated. We find Göbekli Tepe pushes our history back 4,000 years.
Oh, wait,
The only people that talk about that are ancient astronaut theorists, for crying out loud.
Göbekli Tepe is a fucking SoundCloud rapper.
No, that's just Tappy, but a gay for blacks. I don't know. I'm sorry. I lost it there at the end.
Pooh Shiesty and his dad got picked up and arrested. So, you know, I don't know if him and Spot'em Got him are going to link up ever again. These are real people. These are real people and real events. Pooh Shiesty is a rapper. He's terrible.
Bryden, Göbekli Tepe is a real
name.
It's a real place. It's a city. Leighton knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I ordered that scotch.
Good. Let me know what you think.
It's interesting because of the age of it, and I think a big portion of the stuff that we're going to learn about that place, unfortunately, we're not going to know for a very long time because the way that they're excavating things and sort of holding things back from being made public is very irritating from my perspective. I think it's very similar to
government over there, what is it, the Turkish government just resisting getting pushed to do it.
It's all at work.
There's so much more digging we could be doing in Egypt. I'm sorry. I'm done.
Well, the people who run the archaeological surveys and stuff in Egypt are all fucking crooked. They're all crooks. They're completely corrupt. So it's like you can't. This is one of the reasons why when you have all these people bringing up the UFO stuff and Nephilim and all these different contexts and the concepts of UFOs that have been here and DNA splicing and all this stuff, I look at it all very sideways because I'm like, well, you don't even know like our own history and where we're coming from, let alone where like.
And we could probably figure out some of that if we just dug a little bit more. Just keep digging, guys. Just keep digging, please. I'm desperate at this point.
But yeah,
have you even been to Egypt? Why don't you go check out Egypt?
Okay, some guys with guns are going to stop me from doing what I want to do in Egypt. I'm telling you that right now.
And that's what I'm fucking hoping for.
Kill me.
My
there are sealed chambers that they will not explore.
They got some chambers for you. Believe me. You need to go. Please go.
Okay,
I wanted to go check out Iraq, Afghanistan after the war.
Now's the best time, actually.
Because they've got the the reasoning behind it was interesting because there's like hundreds of archaeological sites and historical sites there that we don't even know if they're still there because no one's photographed them or charted them in forever. So I wanted to go over and do like a month just basically running around with a couple expat buddies of mine over there just documenting what's still standing and what's been destroyed.
It would be really cool.
No, it wouldn't be. It would be very dangerous and fucking stupid. Who cares about anything that was ever built in Afghanistan? Not much has been built there.
Are you kidding me? We're talking about the cradle of civilization. Dude, there's going to be so...
I'll go to Dubai. Then I'll go to Dubai, and then I will like smoke weed and bang an Instagram model.
You're telling me you don't want to know more about ancient Sumeria.
I don't care who's Sue and Mary. All right.
Okay, you're a liar. You want to know these things. You know you do.
Listen, I am a nihilist. There is no knowledge left out there.
Lesbian relationship is none of our business.
I don't. Yes, Sue and Mary. I don't care about that. There is no answers out there. A man lives and he dies. A man lives and he dies.
And I want to know how they lived and died, Brighton. I need to know how they lived and died and about the aliens that came down and gave them technology.
yeah, the Anunnaki and whatever. Listen, you can pick up on this on vibes, all right? You don't have to dedicate your fucking life to it or spend
Yeah, I
thousands of
wish
dollars going to a dangerous place where it. Listen, Leighton, they'll probably rape you too.
Yeah,
Okay?
but that would be really cool until
To
the
get raped to
raping
death in
started.
in
No,
sand?
before, like in
get raped to
between.
death
There's gonna be.
Sand.
I was lucky enough to have a couple people I know who are already over there. If you don't have
Gross.
any,
You got Palestinian friends or who are we talking about? Afghanistan.
We're talking about Afghanistan, Brian.
I have
Same
one
place.
friend who was, funny enough, a U.S. soldier who also served with the IDF, who lives over there.
Okay.
And then I have another friend of mine who is ex Afghanistan veteran who lives over there, who married a chick who's over there.
Sounds oof, man. Is he ugly or something?
No, she's not either. It's wild because he has like a house.
Did he not?
I mean,
Did he know? Yeah. I'm sure he has the biggest hut in the village. Did he know?
literally that. It's literally that. Yes.
I'll take my air-conditioned American small townhouse, please. Did he know what she looked like before the wedding?
Yeah, they met while he was in the military. She was actually a translator for.
Oh, thank God you said later.
She was actually a translator for U.S. soldiers for the Afghani forces when they were training them.
Oh,
So-
she should get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, right? That's kind of what I told him.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, why aren't they coming back here? The
Yeah,
poor
that's
woman.
go-
She's
Oh,
in danger.
It's similar to a lot of I know a couple expats who are in Vietnam.
Mhm.
I think it's similar to them where they're just now kind of, I don't know. I think you get a combination of PTSD mixed with familiarity. And so for
Yeah,
him, he was over there for 2 tours. So, I mean, he had to have gotten pretty used to that kind of lifestyle. And then
Has
you
he
try
been-
to come back over.
Has he been used to being pulled apart by horses or camels or whatever the fuck they do over there? Yeah, I would get the fuck out of there.
The place where he lives, he doesn't really worry. I mean, people would be more worried of him than the other way around. He's like
the warlord of a tiny little village.
not a
or...
That's
warlord,
pretty
but
cool.
he's friends with the people who are in charge, not the So the
Look, what
terror
I'm
group-
hearing here is Leighton is safe. He's not going to
I
get
don't-
ass raped.
I'm not. The people that I'd be visiting when I go over there are the people who other people would be worried about doing the raping.
It's the land of raping, though. It's like it's their whole
Well, that's
thing.
why Leighton's friend are the rapists. Look, I don't know what you're not getting, Bryden. He's fine.
Yeah.
He can
The
go
second,
again.
the
You gotta
second
learn
most. It's the second
Get in
most
where you
rapey
can
place.
fit in, you know.
Yeah, that's their motto. That's what they say. That's why they, it's the second most rapey place. Number 1, India, obviously. You can't, no women are allowed over there. That's why they don't have any. That's why all the women there are ugly. They grow out that unibrow. They don't even try because they're like, I do not want to get raped. It's a whole fucking to-do over there. That was probably the most racist rant of the show. That was my
At least of today.
I had that blacks joke earlier. That was pretty good.
yeah. That was
We'll have people vote. Don't worry. Who had the best racist joke?
who was jeez. Yeah.
Yeah,
And if you
the,
lose, we'll send your
but I
information to the ADL.
My dad, we were talking about like the more cryptid stuff. My dad had he's had experience with, because he like cut firewood and would go out and do all that stuff, and he had both him and a friend of his have had very similar experiences where they've been out cutting firewood and heard screams that were not what they would describe as human. And that's something that if you start like researching, you'll find there are just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of stories here in Alaska of people describing that same thing. There's also hundreds and hundreds of stories of people in other states describing that same thing.
Appalachia states. Yes, but isn't that
Yes.
what is that fucking animal that sounds like a woman screaming?
Yeah, so
Animals sound weird. I mean, I've heard a bird I found
Well,
it recently because I watched a lot of bird videos. That sounds like kind of a human scream mixed with not really a human scream. I mean,
It
the
could be
best
that.
is the magpie is one of my favorite birds screaming, but
we
you
have
know,
we have some oddities with the other one that kind of gets connected to the scream thing. And often you'll hear people in Alaska who will connect the two because a lot of the areas where these screams are sort of happening and people talk about them happening often are around areas where you have weird either Alaska Native stories or non-Alaska Native stories of sightings of either large animals or large creatures that just don't make sense. From a Bigfoot perspective, the Alaska Natives would do, you know, they're constantly looking at the mountain lines and ridge lines to kind of track things, and that's just kind of how you handle it. So they would, and you can find multiple versions of the same story, basically, of native villages and groups of Alaska Natives who visualized people walking along mountainsides or walking in the distance that were abnormally large, like not 6'2", 6'3", but like 7'5", 8 foot. And
nothing would surprise me less than an abnormally large person in Alaska.
fair
I
enough.
think you've just got big guys over there.
I don't think they do. I think they have giants. They have hairy giants.
Well,
They are. I would also describe them as hairy giants, but they're giants in the wide way.
there are other, beside like the Bigfoot side of things, there are other things that people will kind of say maybe this is what we're looking at, not a Bigfoot. One of those things is, and the two that I sort of point to is like the concept of a missing link, and then the other is the concept of like species that should be extinct or we believe are extinct that are not necessarily extinct. One of those that I well, yeah. One of them that I reference is the short-nosed bear or short-faced bear, which was in this area, was in Canada as well.
Like
Theoretically,
that we're going after my kind
is
now.
extinct and no longer exists. But that's an animal that you can find multiple Alaskans that were very well-known hunters, very good at killing things, knew animals, knew the terrain, everything, referencing sightings of short-nosed bears. If you saw one of those things, you wouldn't mistake it for a brown bear. You wouldn't mistake it for a black bear. They're insane-looking creatures. They have these big, long, gangly legs. And one of the things that when people talk about Bigfoot, that you'll often hear referenced in other states is the possibility of brown bears or black bears standing on their back legs, and that, hey, this could be what people are citing. Well, I would argue, and I've definitely had other people, old timers here in the state, argue that it's very possible that's what you're getting with these Bigfoot stories in Alaska, is that if you did have the possibility of either a subset species of short-nosed bear or versions of that bear that are still around that just are not cited, then yeah, they could be walking around on their back legs and they would be way larger than a standard bear and would look insane if you saw that walking through the woods.
I'm looking at pictures right now,
that,
and yeah, they have very, very long legs, and they're like
Can
just
you
on
share
their
it?
feet are bigger than a person. I can let me
I'm
send
trying
you-
to do that, but mine is not working. No, don't send me shit. Screen share it. I can't get
Okay.
mine to work. For some reason.
I thought we said that I had to figure something out to do with
For audio, not for video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Because who gives a shit? But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I find the whole cryptid thing to be a lot less. I don't know. I guess realistic than like most other conspiracy theories, because you're just like oh yeah, we have big feet around here the whole time, and we've got like no footage of them and stuff. And the best
there
argument
is
I've heard,
footage.
There's one video, and the best argument I've heard against that is that like Yeah, what if an animal evolved so well to stay hidden that we just can't track it?
Well, there's also
So
just
like,
massive, massive swaths of the U.S. is just wilderness still, and they're protected.
and people are over there hunting and raping and killing all the time.
Yeah, and then they see a Bigfoot.
Like, for instance, Alaska, you have basically the whole center of the state that basically goes untouched except for, like, federal employees in the military. I mean, you're going to have some
you can't trust them,
homesteads sprinkled in there and, like, some, villages and stuff sprinkled in there. But for the most part, it's pretty desolate. And, I think mostly when I look at most of the cryptid stuff, I see it as probably either animals that have yet to be discovered or sightings of animals that are abnormal.
They could be like mutated freaks.
Big tumors.
Well, that's sort of what I mean. Yeah, like, so for instance, bears can stand on their hind legs. If you had a bear that was injured in a specific way, that was no longer able to sit, properly, was no longer able to walk properly, it's very possible you end up with a bear that goes years and years of its life mostly moving around on its back legs. You could have the same thing with, animals that have vocal cord injuries or have vocal injuries, so they sound different. All kinds of weird things.
I like that. I like the idea of that bear. And he just keeps trying, and he's going around, and nobody can get him down, and then he just walks. And bears supposedly, I don't know if this is true. I just read it on a picture that I saw one time. Was that bears sometimes like to sit and look at the sunset, and the scientists don't know why. They just think that they admire it.
Well, they
do sit on their. They do sit on their butt. They'll sit straight up with their back straight.
Yeah, I know that. And then I guess they like to stare at sunsets or something. Again, this was an Instagram post. I have no idea if that's true. I just choose to believe it. Yeah,
I believe it.
And, they just like to sit and stare, and then they go and rip salmon apart like a motherfucker. But, I like that. I like violence. I think that's a good thing that they do. They got to eat. Are you serious? You're trying to starve this bear to death for a fish? Not on my watch.
Fish are worth less than
you
bears,
eat salmon?
for sure.
You eat salmon? I don't eat salmon because it's gross. You smoke it, I still think it's gross. I don't like salmon. I'll eat a river trout and scallops. I hate seafood, bro. Which is annoying because it's such high fucking protein for so low calorie. I gotta hate
sushi when it has a lot of like vegetables and sauces and crunchy things.
Yeah. I like
I'm right next to the ocean, so I get halibut and rockfish and snapper. Those are my favorite.
Snapper tacos are pretty good. I will say that, but I'm just not a seafood dude. I'm not. I'll
Fish
have a crab,
tacos
but
are like
what an
the
annoying
worst.
thing. Dude,
They're
crab
gross.
is
They don't fit on a taco. Fish don't go on a taco. It's not good on a taco.
Chunks. It's in chunks.
Yeah, it's not good.
You make.
I didn't mean they physically don't fit. I meant that it doesn't work with taco ingredients.
I don't know.
I often complain because my flounder breaks through my
She's got
wrap.
a tortilla with a fish in it. That's not what I'm eating pride in.
Well, I don't know what to tell you because fish tacos are wildly popular all throughout the world.
Yeah, and I don't know why.
Hey, right back at you, not a fish guy. But as we start to wrap up the show, I do want to throw this out here because I think this is an astute observation. I don't mind crab, but crab is the pomegranate of seafood. It's just not worth all the fucking effort that I have to go through.
Dude, okay.
So little.
Consider this. I go on a fishing trip with my husband and some in-laws, whatever. They're catching crabs, right? Where we are.
Yeah.
And they're like,
it's a crabbing trip, not a fishing trip.
Abby, can you cook these? Do you know how to cook these? And I'm like,
no.
I'm just sitting here like, please don't kill them. Please don't kill them. You will kill us all if you kill them. And they're like horrified as I'm explaining to them that you have to cook the crabs alive or like immediately drop them into the water after you kill them because the meat starts going bad immediately. Like it spoils within
seconds.
Nobody's
going to die.
Like,
Nobody's going to die. I don't even think that's true.
No, that's real. Look it up. That's why you have to boil them alive. And so I'm just sitting here like, you don't understand what you're asking me to do, guys. So I make them put them on ice and I do the whole thing. And the whole time it's so I'm telling
You're
you, I
supposed to
just
cut their
felt so
faces off.
dramatic
Yeah,
about it.
so there's two ways to go about it. You can drop them straight in the water and listen to them scream, which is the way that I've always done it.
I put them to
They
sleep
don't really
with the
scream,
ice,
that's
so I didn't
steam
have to
leaving.
hear it.
That steam, they can't scream. They don't
It
have vocal
doesn't
cords.
matter.
I
It's
know.
steam leaving.
They
the
died
shell.
before they woke up. That's all I'm
The
saying.
second option is
No, it
you
hurt.
can take a knife, you go right down the back spine. Well,
That's
the way
a
you're
lobster.
describing.
That's a lobster. For crabs, you cut the face off.
Yeah,
I used to work in a restaurant.
No, I know, but if you're the crabs, what you can do is if you follow that weird little spine thing they have, you can get the head so that you don't even really have to cut it. You just kind of mash its face a bit. And that's how we used to do it, was like with this weird like blunted spoon thing that we had in the kitchen. And that's what we would use to take their heads off.
Yeah,
So
see,
he's
all of
working in a
this,
kitchen too.
it's all just a mess. It's all just horrible and upsetting.
Oh, no. Meet your meat, Abby. I'm sorry. Veganism is actually, I'm not vegan currently. I
Look,
was for a while and I need to get back. Veganism, I'm sorry, meet your meat. See, does it make
Look,
you feel bad when you have to do it yourself? Yeah,
I
know
don't,
me.
I
Okay.
don't
Crab,
hunt
slurp it
and
right out
kill
of the shell.
the deer, right? When my husband brings meat home, he hunted the deer, he cleaned them, he did all the stuff.
Cleaned. Look at the language we use for stuff like that.
He
Cleaned,
butchered
huh?
them.
There you go.
Well, no, because it's a different thing. The
Skinned-
cleaning process
skinned
is
and
before
butchered
the
and gutted.
butchering. They're two
Skinned,
different things.
Butchered and gutted.
Yeah, that's what he does. And I went out there once when it was happening, and I
Yeah,
saw
smells
a
bad, huh?
bucket full of
Yeah,
blood
lot of
and
blood.
intestines with just a face on top. And I turned around and I went inside and I said, "Don't ever make me go in there again."
But venison jerky is the best jerky I've
Fucking
ever had in my entire
delicious,
life.
dude.
It's
And
so
also,
good,
I
dude.
do think this is a lot more ethical than factory farming. Okay, so I am
100%.
doing something here. It's
Well,
just
you're not
hard.
once again, you're not doing shit.
Okay,
Your husband is.
My husband is doing the right thing. Okay,
It's fucking crazy. You don't. Do
my
anything.
husband is doing
By the
the
way,
right. We are
you do
one
this
flesh.
podcast.
We are
You
one
weren't there.
flesh.
By the way, I just want to point out, you weren't there.
Like an
So you don't
angry bitch.
technically know he did the right thing. For all we know, we
Yeah.
could cut to a clip right now of a game camera, and your husband is just standing over this poor defenseless deer, torturing it. There's no, you
That's
have no
true.
idea. Technically
That's true.
speaking,
We have to.
you saw the end product.
We have to institute body cams for husbands.
Body cams.
Oh, believe me, body cams for husbands would go over well.
Dude, could you imagine if we had that
once a
technology with Dick Cheney? The video footage we could have had.
Yeah, oh, that would kick ass. You kind of stepped on my home pornography joke, but
Oh,
it wasn't a
shit.
good one. It wasn't a good one.
Yeah, well, we would take it off for that.
No, it wouldn't be on except for that. But we are at the wrapping up point here. We do have the Patreon. You're allowed
We
to
do.
stick around for the Patreon if you'd like.
More than welcome.
Um,
We would love it if you did. But yeah, we usually actually
stick
only do an hour for the free episode, and then we do another right after. We just take a restroom break. We go and take a big manly piss. Okay. I'm doing my best, guys.
It's so fucking crazy to say potty is like a fucking
I have
37-year-old lady.
children. I'm not 37. I'm 32. I almost said one.
Yeah. It's rough. About to be 33.
Okay. Anyway, Leighton, we would love it if you would plug all your stuff, whatever you've got going on. He's got the Outlaw Thoughts and Loser Cast, but you also are going on other people's podcasts.
And you got to fucking DM me all that shit. That way I can put it. I need that done like immediately before the show goes out because it's out in a matter of about an hour.
Okay,
Afterward.
yeah.
After that.
Yeah.
So.
I can send you links, everything. Yeah, outlawthoughts.com will take you to the main channel, and then at the Losercast on YouTube is the Losercast channel, and then yeah, as far as other stuff goes, I do random shows. I might be speaking at the Libertarian Party convention here in
Gay.
Grand
Real quick.
Rapids, but I don't know about that.
real quick, give a rundown of each of those fucking podcasts, and then you can tell everybody about how you don't want people to have driver's license.
Outlaw Thoughts is part podcast, part just regular YouTube channel. So on that one, I do like pop culture and sort of politics streams where I'll have people on, we'll bullshit for a bit. It's very laid back kind of variety show thing. And then I'll do sort of prepared content. So that stuff is normally me looking at the camera, reading scripts, doing documentaries. I've done the two that I'm probably point people to the most that I'm most proud of is I did a documentary on Nick Begich and Hale Boggs, their plane disappearance, which was there are two senators who disappeared here in Alaska. It's the largest search that's ever been mounted for any individual in American history. Interesting.
First part of that. More of that of the first one. Second part, we don't gotta look for him.
And then the other one is the Joe Vogler. I've done a documentary on him. I'm the only person who's made that kind of stuff. I'm writing a book and doing another documentary about him. He's somebody that I've been trying to get more people to learn about because he's somebody I think was probably offed by the government. That's a whole nother
well, I did that. I did have that video that you did on him on over here while I was playing games this week. And it's fascinating. Definitely sounds like he might have been assassinated. Just saying.
Yeah, his story is definitely interesting to me. So that's kind of the vibe of Outlaw Thoughts. Losercast is pretty simple. We bring on each week. We each bring in a loser. It can be somebody from history or somebody from modern kind of culture, whatever. And then we each give a reason for why that person's the biggest loser. And then each week the viewers vote. And the next week we go live, we show who won, and that person goes on the board. So
I want to do that podcast. I got I got losers I think of all the fucking time.
Yeah, we need
one in particular. But mine would probably be a fighter. And
then I'm going on a bunch of shows. I'll be doing, like I said, I'm trying to do. Eventually, should be doing Jake Shields' thing once he gets back and schedule stuff that I've been working on. I might be doing.
Get him on our show. He's crazy. He's
might be
crazy.
Going back on Matthew Cox if I want to fly back over to Tampa. I think he mentioned wanting to do sort of a updated conspiracy coverage. So
he should call he should call his show Much More Cox.
What's funny is he was America's Most Wanted for like ever. He was a legit criminal. It was wild going to his house and never meeting him and being like, all right, I'm going to see what this is like.
Why would he not name his show Most Wanted Cox or Cox Most Wanted? Actually,
it's a good question. It's a good name.
That's such a good idea.
Bro, tell him to rename his whole shit. I will handle everybody's naming of their shows. I will only take 0.25%. All right, for the fucking name, Cox Wanted. Like, that's crazy, dude.
Yeah, but I think people might get the wrong idea. Oh no. He crashed out. Well, he's got to be the one to stop the recording. It's kind of the problem with that.
Lightning.
Well, he's the worst. No, it's the Riverside seems great, but every now and then, most episodes, he drops out for a few seconds. It's very annoying.
StreamYard occasionally I'll crash. Same deal. It's just too much bandwidth.
Yeah, well, thankfully it's recording locally from the browser, so we're still being picked up. So usually I just filibuster. Yeah.
Yep, it's completely fine. It's another fucking email to Riverside. So
that's what they're gonna know you so well. It's going to be great.
Well, I don't know. Do what I pay you to do. I think it's a very simple fucking request of, I don't know. Apparently I'm the only person in the world that believes that. That's why I'm so good at work. I do what you pay me to do.
Only happening to you.
I don't know. I mean, the some of the stuff, it seemed like they brought in like 3 different teams I talked to. They were like, we have no fucking idea why this happened.
Well, we'll figure that out later. We enjoyed this episode very much. So everyone, go to patreon.com/here to help podcast. Go to abbyandbrighton.com for the link tree. We have that now. We have our own website. It's just a
We're gonna
link
have
tree,
a
but
real
still.
website. We're gonna have a real
Yes.
website here soon. So
We're working on it. Brighton's working on it. Sorry. Don't get mad.
I'm not working on
Nobody's working on it.
I have an idea of it. I'm working on other things, but yeah, there's going to be a real website. Somebody's
Brighton's
going to make
finding
it.
an Indian to work on it.
There we go.
No. I'm gonna use an AI thing, which is indirectly Indian. Nah, it's just WordPress. It's just like super easy to do. I just got to spend a weekend to do it.
We're gonna
I've done it
find out
before.
someday that
Super easy.
AI is just they put a bunch of Indians in a box.
What someday? That's repeatedly happening.
Please let me out. I want to see my family.
Repeatedly, we found out that AI is just like 100 fucking Indians working around the clock. Amazon.
Yeah, but I mean
store
in a
got
box.
Well, how many Indians can you fit in a box? I don't know.
Well, it depends on how big the box is. This is beside the point. So
or how small
subscribe
the
to.
Indians are.
That's a good point. They could be. I'm not going to say the word. I'm doing better. Little dwarf Indians.
There you go.
I'm improving myself. Okay, everybody.
Midgians.
Subscribe. Yes. Well, it's because I said
Niggas.
it too much in the past. Subscribe to all of Leighton's stuff. And follow me and Bryden on Twitter. OctoAbby with an I and Silly Bryden. Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful week.